Back in early 2015, I fell in love with the chateau I found online. I then had to convince my other half to give up our London life and move to rural France. To my surprise, she said yes, and a year later said yes again at our wedding at the chateau we now called our home. It's just us two and our husky Lightning, and now of course a few animals who seem to have joined us along the way.
It's such a beautiful place to live, so we decided to share it with everyone.
It's obviously a lot of hard work for just us two.
It's not always a fairy tale, and we don't always get it right.
But it's all fantastic fun along the way, so we bring this chateau back to life for others to enjoy as much as we do. Follow us, Angelina and Phil, along with the highs and lows of our chateau life.
So I'm outside on the patio, and I thought, what could I do today that would be really useful that we need? And there is one project that I've been meaning to do for a long time that I desperately need, and it is making some seed bags for flowers. So essentially what it's going to do is capture any seeds from the seed pods that are about to burst open, and that way I can save a lot of money from not purchasing any new flowers and just seeding these ones. So we desperately need them because each year we do spend a lot of money on flowers, and that would be just one less bill to pay out and make the place actually look even more beautiful than it is, because that way I can create a lot of flowers. So I have some peonies here, which are lovely flowers in the pots, and this is what I meant. So I've got these from my previous order of things. They're all different sizes, and as you can see, it can breathe through. The seed pods will obviously burst open and capture, and here I've actually got a few seeds from peonies. So that is my solution, and obviously you don't have to tie it too tight, so which means you're not harming the plant from obviously carry on to producing the seeds till the end. So this is the idea, that all these pots will have some peonies, but most pots have weeds growing in them really. Here's one with grass growing in a dead plant, a geranium before. Some more grass, lovely. Check these out, these are lovely. So I'm in my workshop now, where I will be sewing, and I've removed one of the bags away just so that I can see how it's made, which looks pretty simple. And I also have another bag which I can sort of take note on, which is made exactly the same. So that's a great, help. And I'll be using a sewing machine, which Phil's mum has given me, and I have this one which my mum gave me, so thank you very much for those. They are very useful. Now I'm not very confident in sewing because I'm still learning, but practice makes perfect, and hopefully the better I get, the more I'll be able to create. Maybe some curtains in the future. That'll be great because I desperately need them too. I have so many windows to fill. But we'll start with the basic and see how we get on. So I am very much looking forward to having more practice and sort of understand how the machines operate and get more confident with that. So I have the fabric that I'm gonna need. It's exactly pretty much the same because look, it's sheer, it's lovely, and it's breathable. So that's fantastic. I have a lot of ribbons which I collect because I don't really chuck away anything, because I just think, hey, one day I'm gonna need that for a project, and lo and behold, it gets its use. So I'm pleased I've been collecting all these things, which are going to be very useful in completing this project for me. Okay, so looking at the bag design, if I just turn it inside out, Now, it seems like this top part is folded over so that the ribbons can go through it. And then afterwards it's sewn closed. Because if you do it the other way around, you're just gonna sew this part shut and you're not gonna be able to put it over the flowers. So here is the bag, and I'm gonna be using it as a guide to know how much fabric to cut. So I've cut the fabric and managed to fold over and pin it in order to do the ribbon stitching next. That looks perfect now. Now stitch around the edges and make small incisions for ribbons to go through. Now all I've got to do is put the ribbon through using a pin and tie it at both ends. So here's the finished bag. Look, it's complete and it does the job. Perfect. I'm pleased, and I'll be able to make a lot more and capture all the seeds. I actually wonder if that's the way the flower seed companies capture their seeds. Do they put this over the flowers and then capture the seeds? Perhaps. I don't know. Well, anyways, whichever way, I'm really happy, and I got to practice on the machine, which gave me more confidence, and the more practice I have, the more projects I'll be able to complete in that case, which is something to look forward to for sure. Let's put a small seed bag and tighten. Perfect. And I'll leave that until they burst open. Then I'll collect the bag. If you got inspired by this, go make some cute little seed bags or whatever, you know, little prezzy bags. They're really quick and easy to make, and you know, you could even put lavender in those. That'll be really nice, and put it, you know, hang it in your wardrobe. So yeah, get going and do something as well.
Right, here we are. I put the gardener's cottage up there. And here we are, a little area I've cleared already with Angelina's favourites all down there. And this is where I'm going to make a little compost bin out of old pallets. This really is simple and I don't need to explain much. I'm just screwing some pallets together. However, if you're going to make one of these, use the best quality pallets you can find. There are some which are plain wood or treated wood, such as these. These are heavy duty ones. Of course, use big screws to hold this together because there could be quite some weight in it, and make sure they're all the same size so it all matches up. So here is the finished product. These front ones obviously are just screwed in loosely to keep stuff in, but they're going to unscrew, so you can take the soil out when it's ready. And there will be, when I get more pallets, a third one, so you can always have fresh compost no matter what state everything's in. Now, time to see if I can actually empty the mower into it. Right, reasonably successful. this can get going. I'll put some more grass clippings in later. Then another one, and eventually another one. So we can always have fresh compost for the garden. Not bad for a few pallets, I think.
We are at the start of our driveway, just off the main road, which is the first thing that anyone sees as they are coming towards us. And this is where the sign's gonna go. Now, we haven't put it out as yet because it's still curing after all the painting, but when it's cured and ready to go up, we can't wait for that. Come on, let's go.
Here's the first lake, and as you can see, there's a tree over, which is a common theme of our wet and windy winter. But it's a pretty thing to look at on the way in the drive.
This is the first section that you get to see as you arrive, where you can just about see parts of the moat and a sneak peek of the chateau. Of course, everything is overgrown, but in future it won't be.
Right, come and have a look at this. Here's one of the old stone bridges from the old moat system we uncovered. It was covered in ivy, you couldn't see it, and we had no idea this entrance existed other than for the farmer's field. But isn't it beautiful? The lovely old stone arch down here, and you can see here there's actually the year it was made carved into the stone, which is 1735. And we've got yet another bridge, but I'm not sure this one's going to be up to much.
Aren't these wonderful? Look at them. I love this bush. These are so wonderful. They are all around the moat and they come in all different colors. And this is our chapel that you see. This is an area we've started to clear because we can then visualize what it'll be like for all the visitors coming over if these bushes were lowered down and trees are trimmed and stuff like that. It's amazing. Look at that view. Come on in. And we're now here in our chapel garden. You would have seen me scarifying the lawn here, trying to get rid of the moss in early episodes. It's a really nice place, and we have this lovely driveway leading up to our chateau. And as you can see, the nature is trying to take over. We have 2 stone circles full of flower beds here in this garden. But they are full of weeds and they need flowers, this one more than the other one. And behind me is our chapel. So this is our chapel, and we're not going to go inside because that would be for another time. But what I did want to point out is that symbol on the top, which is a crest, and inside it there are 3 heads of wolves, which is the symbol of a village of Garonne. And isn't this great? Look at these lovely stones leading the pathway to the chapel. And this was the setting for our own wedding. We held the ceremony here underneath these trees, providing shade and seating all around. It was so magical.
Another set of gates. Are you ready to step onto the island? Here's our first bridge to get onto the island where the chateau's built on. It would have once been a drawbridge, but that's long since gone, sadly. There's the big old duck house, and it needs quite a lot of work, but I'm going to show you a little bit of that out of order. We weren't going to go on that side of the house, but I'm going to show you because that's something you might have seen, and also it's a project that we're going to be doing quite shortly. So let's have a quick look at that before we look at the rest of the outside of this part of the house. You've seen this in the background of some other videos, I think, and I just wanted to show you a little bit closer because this is one of our impending projects, which is quite a serious one, as you can tell. So I'm looking forward to getting this done and hopefully not falling in the water while doing the roof on the other side. This is our inner garden, which as you can see is fairly overgrown. This week, apart from feeling a little bit rough ourselves, every bit of equipment that we've got has broken, so it's fairly overgrown. But this tour is about you seeing how it really is. This isn't dressed up, and we really look forward to you seeing it after everything's done, and so you get the full effect.
There's a lot of clearing to do, especially the weeds, as you can see, and there is more of them than I can probably tackle on my own. One of the nice features here on the sun terrace is the lovely rosebush that seems to be thriving up the wall. And there's Phil's lovely boat.
Okay, this is our dining room, but we also use this as the way through for all of our events because the toilets are off there. And I love this room. And of course, here's our sign that we made the other week, and that's just drying, so let's not get anything on that as we walk through. And let's go to the back garden. This is where all the fun really happens. One of the last of the bridges, and here's the back garden.
You get a better idea of the size of the chateau now that I'm standing here. And yes, as many of you have pointed out, the shutters on the chateau are on the to-do list to be painted this year and taken care of.
This is where a lot of work has to happen, as this is where we hold all of our events in the summer, assuming of course we are allowed to hold them. Does need a lot of tidying up and a lot of work, but it always comes good. Here's a beautiful old wall. On top of this is our kitchen garden and our gardener's cottage, and this rather creepy looking basement is a small cave in this wall, and it goes right underneath the gardener's cottage. We're not going in that right now, but I'm really looking forward to getting all of the ivy off this wall and exposing its true beauty.
Typical, as if we don't have enough to do here at the chateau, nature had decided to throw this tree down in the back garden for us to clear up, and this is exactly where we host our events. One of our more ambitious projects is to build a stage here for the acts, and Phil will be in charge of that.
I love this weeping willow, and when it's not quite as muddy here and it's dried out, I love sitting and chilling out here and hiding for 5 minutes to take a small break. It's a lovely little part of the garden with a great view, and I love this part of the moat. This is my favourite bridge, but then believe it or not, I built this, so I'm quite proud. It's still going strong a few years later, and apart from a quick wash and a coat of paint, it's good to go still. Unfortunately, of course, I've just got to fix this handrail, which is why we do so much work with the trees, because this was from a branch that came down above. Over the bridge is what we call no man's land. It's a bit overgrown now because we can't get the mower in because of the tree down, but we cleared this last year finally, and we use it for overflow for our events, for artisan stalls, but also in the future that maybe there might be a glamping area. We'll just have to see how it goes.
And it's from this piece of land that you get to see all the beauty that this place has got to offer. Our back garden, our chateau, the moat, and the beautiful sun terrace. The possibilities are endless.
So, if you can't imagine it, looking at it now, have a look back to see what it was like last summer after we've done all the work to get this place good. Hope you enjoyed the tour. As I said, it's a very honest tour. There is a lot of work to be done, and I hope you can see through it. I prefer to be truthful. Now, this week has been quite slow for us, which is why we did the tour. We are shattered and everything's broken. All our machinery is broken. We're waiting for parts. So we decided that the world is telling us to take a slightly slower pace this week and possibly next. So I hope that hasn't ruined our video for you at all. As always, please do share our videos with your friends so we can grow our subscriber rate, grow our audience, and make more fantastic videos for you. We do have a Patreon page, so please do pop across if you'd like to help support us making these videos, as it takes a huge amount of time and a lot of equipment, but it's worth it if you enjoy them.
And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and you will get the bell icon. Click on that to get all the latest notifications as soon as the videos are uploaded so you don't miss anything. If you like any of the videos, click like. That always helps us to let us know that you like our content. And leave some comments and suggestions. We love hearing from you and it gives us motivation, some ideas of what to do next. And thank you as always for watching. See you next time.
Bye.